Epic's Metaverse is expanding, Ubisoft has a new Battle Royale on the way, and Halo actually is dropping a massive patch on the Master Chief Collection. Stick around. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Campfire Gaming Podcast. My name is Rich and I will be your host for this week's episode. Joining me tonight, I have Matt. How's it going, Matt?
It's going pretty good. Excited to talk video games.
Video games, that's right. We got lots of video games and video game related things to talk about tonight. But before we dive into that stuff, be sure to check out our website, campfiregamingpodcast.com. There you'll find links to our Twitter, @CampGamePod, and you'll also find a link to our Discord, which we highly recommend that you join. We got lots of Hell Let Loose to play, probably maybe some Halo custom games that we want to start diving into, and of course, a plethora of video game related conversation to be had, both video game and TV show related as well. We've been having a lot of fun with that one. Speaking of TV show, be sure to check out our sideline, like our side series, our review of the Halo TV series. We're going, Matt, myself, and our special guest Heather are going down week by week, and we are breaking down each episode and giving it our thumbs up or thumbs down. And it should be very interesting for the rest of the season. We're very excited to watch those episodes regardless of how it turns out. So be sure to check that out. It's really fun stuff. We have good conversation there. Okay, so let's kick it off with today. This week in gaming, one of the things that we have, of course, to talk about is NFTs and Metaverse. I know, shocker. There's a lot to go around with NFTs and Metaverses because that's, as we said back in December, it's going to be the buzzwords of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it definitely is.
Right.
Every week there's something.
There's something new with NFTs. There's something new with Metaverses and all sorts of things in between. So one of the things...
We try to take a break, put an episode between talking about it just because there's so much information coming. We don't want to burn you out. We don't want to get burned out.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with Metaverses. It's kind of the hip new thing at the moment, and it's a trend that we've seen happen so far that doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon, but maybe it'll probably get boring as time goes on. We actually have a little bit to talk about that, by the way, later in this episode. But first... Call of Duty is rumored. Yeah, that's a good word to use. Rumored to be getting NFTs in the next Call of Duty release. Shocked? Are you shocked, Matt?
No, not really. No, it's again.
Would that surprise you at all if they revealed? By the way, we're adding Call of Duty NFTs.
No, my big thing is just how are you going to use them? We've had this conversation. Like, how are they going to be using them? Could be cool. It could be just a gimmicky way. But I mean, just overall, anymore, I'm numb to it. Everybody's talking about it, right? Every game's adding, and I've yet to see a good use case for them, as we've said before. So I think we've come up with a few ideas on the show, but most of them are just kind of replacing just old systems just with NFTs, which doesn't make sense. So
right. Yeah, I'm not really surprised by this either. I mean, I think it'd be kind of funny if you start seeing people running around and they got Monster Energy drink stickers on their helmet or something like that, or they got like a big patch, like a big monster colored Monster Energy drink.
Here's a cool
gun
idea.
Skin or something like that they bought with their NFT.
Yeah, you should be able to put your NFTs up. I've never done this, so I guess I'm speaking not from experience, just from movies. But how you like street racing, you put you put your pink slip up. If you lose your car, right?
You have to bet
should be able to
NFTs.
There you go. Bet your NFTs, and if you lose the match, or whatever, however you want to program it.
Yeah, you got to be basic.
Yeah.
You don't want to be basic. The kids will make fun of you in school.
There you go. See, already a good idea there.
Yep. Along with that, though, we have, of course, Metaverse is kind of a common theme that's been popping up in these last few months of episodes. And one of the big purveyors of a Metaverse is Epic Games, also no real shock there that everybody is trying to jump on board this this power train. Um, and one of the things that's going to be happening soon is that it sounds like Lego is now teaming up with Epic Games to help make this sort of family friendly metaverse. I think this was kind of a matter of time before Lego kind of jumped into that. I mean, they already
Hmm.
have, theme parks like Legoland and things like that. I mean, we have that here in our cold state. We have a little mini Legoland, and that's always fun to go through. And I'm sure that they're going to have some sort of like a maybe even like a Lego themed metaverse is what it sounds like.
Hmm.
But Lego has made a long-term partnership with Epic basically to make a family friendly metaverse. So, according to Epic Games, kids access to tools that will empower them to become confident creators and deliver amazing play opportunities in a safe and positive space. So, maybe you'd be able to jump on and build a bunch of stuff. Could be cool, but I don't really understand how this is supposed to be more of a metaverse other than just like, excuse me, other than being like maybe it's a Lego VR game where it's like Minecraft but Lego.
Hmm. Yeah, no, like we've said that before. It's like, us as gamers, we've experienced a lot of this kind of the ideas that people are throwing out about metaverses. It's like, oh, you can, customize yourself and create your own little, and it's like, well, we kind of have that already. So how is that
Right.
like? It seems like we're calling something by a different name. It's the same thing, but it's just, So again, with the metaverse, I'm still, and maybe I'm not digging in enough to some of the other ones out there, but what makes it different than some of these other online games that we've been playing for years?
Right. Is it going to be some kind of like a VR space? Is it just going to be like, yeah, is it going to be just like a Minecraft, but with Lego, like,
Yeah,
with trademark Lego bricks and things like that that you can play with? I mean, that does sound kind of cool, but
from just a game idea, that sounds fun. But again, I don't know how
yeah,
you call that a metaverse. Again, to me, metaverse is almost maybe more, at least from with the gaming stuff that we cover, is starting to be more of kind of like Fork Fight, how they're just kind of partnering
right,
up with everything, right?
right.
So, maybe like a cool idea, would be you go buy a Lego and then you get an NFT along with that of that Lego set in your little, I don't know, yard, your world, your whatever. But it's just, yeah. I mean, again, ideas for games with Legos, with kind of like, yeah, Minecrafty, build stuff, on the the Unreal Engine 5 could be a lot of fun.
It could be. Yeah. Yeah, I think that I'm almost kind of surprised why they haven't really jumped on that, a long time ago because I mean Minecraft and Roblox have been huge for a
Hmm.
while and it's doing exactly that, right? It's I mean maybe it's not the most safest of spaces for kids to engage in. There has been I think we even covered a little bit of some of like the weird stuff that's been happening with Minecraft, like some of those like Minecraft subcultures and
Hmm.
some of the weird stuff that you see on things like Roblox, but it's always given kids a place to, be creative and build stuff and have fun. So I
Yeah.
feel like they're almost like a little late to the party and this thing needs to kind of essentially blow the lid off the whole thing to really make it stand out as being more than just like maybe it's just another carbon copy, Horizon Worlds or something like that, to
Hmm.
where it's just kind of a mediocre VR chat, essentially.
Yeah. No, it's again, it's my big thing is it's just the way they're talking about it. It doesn't sound different from what we have. I'm making a generalization here, not
Right.
specifically Lego. And they don't ever show anything, so we can't see or you know understand why this is so much different than experiences we have now. So hopefully some of this stuff is coming soon so we can better understand it, and see why is this so much better or different than what we have now.
Right. Okay. So I mean, to go along with that, I mean, we got it sounds like I mean Lego isn't the only one that thinks that this is a really good idea that Epic is trying to build these sort of metaverses. Sony is also very involved with Epic and their and metaverses as well. So it just came out not too long ago that I believe this was just yesterday that Sony
Yep.
is investing $1 billion with a B dollars into Epic Games' metaverse development. So they're trying to pony up a lot of cash to help see this through with Epic, and they're
Hmm.
probably going to be doing some sort of partnership in the future, I would imagine, to help bring a lot of Sony's IPs and things like that to whatever metaverses that Epic is trying to put together. Um, Kind of weird stuff. Like it's so I don't honestly don't really know how to feel about that. I mean, I suppose if you're gonna have a backer, Sony seems like it would be a pretty good one to have. They do have a
Hmm.
lot of money, so
Yeah, and I forget, it was a couple months ago. Hold on, I think it said in the article here. July. So July of that was a while ago. Geez, time flies. July of 2020. I mean, Sony did drop $250 million in a partnership with Epic, so that they've already been kind of friends for a while here.
mhm.
But I mean, it's throwing 1 billion around again. It makes me. I'm really interested to see how far along Epic is and whatever their idea of the metaverse is, especially to throw that much money at it, right?
Right, right.
Or is this a Sony doesn't want to build it themselves? Epic has some ideas, so now Sony's essentially funding it. Which is it? Is it like we've already got a good idea and maybe a product's far enough along that Sony's like we want in on this early and they're dropping big
Mhm.
bucks for it. So I mean, again, it just kind of goes back to I want to see more. I want to hear more. I want to understand more why these metaverses are going to be, they're, that they're creating. I want to see it. So, but yeah, it's curious to I'm really curious to see how far along Epic is, if they're just getting partnerships with Lego, getting a
Right,
bunch of money from Sony, and probably a few more things along the way here that I'm sure they'll partner up with people.
right. And I mean, we're gonna end up. I mean, regardless, we're probably going to be talking about it at some point when they start to reveal what all of these different metaverse projects they have behind the scenes.
Hmm.
But it's going to be interesting moving into that space because as of right now, it does not seem as though metaverses in general are even doing very well financially.
Yeah.
Uh, Kind of transitioning over to, metaverses in general. There was an article um, written by who was the author of this article?
Oh,
This
I
was
just.
Sam Reynolds from CoinDesk. Sorry, Sam Reynolds from CoinDesk has been doing. He wrote a piece just recently about how there are a lot of metaverse related games and products that are really not doing well and they are hemorrhaging players.
Hmm.
And maybe this is something that Epic is going to be able to leverage. I mean, take for instance, Fortnite wasn't the first one to the battle royale scene, but they did leverage the popularity of the battle royale genre from PUBG and make it into something like Fortnite that is super easy, accessible, and fun for a lot of people to play.
Hmm.
So maybe Epic is going to learn from these other, I guess you could call them metaverse games and their
So
failures.
yeah, so reading this article, I mean, the big thing is, again, this is where I'm trying to understand how the whole, as the metaverse and these kind of expand and make their way into gaming is, some of these games are, uh, was it play to earn?
Yes,
So I mean, that's a different type of game, and I know Axie Infinity is one of the big ones that in this space that people play, and some of it use it as a job, right? They
right.
play it, and from what I was understanding, and again, I have zero experience playing any of these games that were called out in this article,
Same.
but it's from reading the article, it really sounds like there's okay, it's a pay to or play to earn game, so it's going to be a little different, right? You need to obviously, if you want to earn money, got to play, right? But the thing that they're missing, what it sounds like, is like the fun part, right?
Yes.
You
It
know,
sounds
like
like they just missed out on the well, we want something to do rather than just work a digital job.
yeah. So, and I think that's what draws a lot of people to games, right? It's fun, it's an escape. But if people are getting drawn in, and there's not a lot here to experience, or not any crazy mechanics, again, not speaking from experience, I haven't played these games, but that could be a big explanation why a lot of people are leaving these metaverses. The ones that were called out were Axie Infinity, the Sandbox, and Decentraland.
Right.
Axie Affinity and Decentraland are two that I've heard of. Again, don't know a lot about, but it's
Well, I think
it.
Horizon Worlds is also going down in player count as well.
Mhm.
That's the metaverse. The
Yeah,
Facebook metaverse.
yeah. And it's just
Yeah.
so to see this large of a drop is kind of, again, to me, this is why you want to create a game that's going to be fun and have people play. Again, it's a different type of game, so you probably do have to approach some things a little differently, but you still need to make your game fun if you want to retain players, whether that's just for them to grind and spend more money on the game or grind and make more money on the game. You still need
Right.
that core. This is fun. There's a reason I'm playing it, and
And
if I
so
don't.
this is so coming from the article here and why we're even saying this in the first place. So the article that we keep referencing says the just to get like a little excerpt of it is that the metaverse title Axie Infinity has seen an average daily user drop of about 30% to around 107,000 players. The Sandbox has fallen 29% to around about 1,200 players. So I mean, it's rapidly losing player interest. I mean, 30% loss is pretty huge. I don't know how
Mhm.
long Axie Infinity has been available for, but if it hasn't been around very long, 30%, retention, 30% losing 30% of your players is pretty big.
March 2018, so 4 years old.
Okay, so it's not super old, but it's definitely losing interest, is what it seems like.
Hmm.
But I mean, just to cite more of this article, I mean, one of the reasons that this author has been kind of talking about this in this light is that, yeah, like you were saying, there's not a lot of game here. The article says, quote, there is currently no organic engagement that retains players in the game, unlike traditional games like Fortnite, GTA, Candy Crush, where players are willing to pay to keep playing. Oh, that's Web3 analysis, DeFi Vader. So yeah, yeah. What is there like? I guess at some point you and I should maybe you and I should go in and do an investigation as to what these things actually are,
Hmm.
and try these out to see like what you can actually do in these things to see if there's actually some gameplay there. But
Check out the gameplay. Yeah, maybe next
yeah,
time we decide to talk NFTs and metaverses, we'll
just
have some of that research there.
yeah,
So,
maybe we do a
but
book club on a metaverse.
there you go. We could, but we'll have to see how much. I know some of these. I think you have to pay in to even get started. So, yeah, no, it's again. I mean, I think regardless of it's uh, play to earn or play to have fun, you still need to have that core fun gameplay loop. And
Yeah. Yep.
and
And I
we've
mean, is this something that you think that Epic is going to be leveraging? Like
well,
that would be my thought is that, like I was saying with the whole battle royale thing is that PUBG, while widely popular, had issues.
hmm
It had a lot of like technical problems. The controls felt clunky. There was latency problems, that sort of thing. And then Fortnite comes around. Fortnite's already been released for a little while now, and then they decide to add a battle royale to it. But the gameplay feels clean. It feels polished. Like it
yeah.
feels like not garbage. Not to shit on PUBG too hard, but yeah, I mean, like the controls were clunky and it felt kind of rough to play. Like you were fighting the game more than you were fighting some of the players some of the time. That's just kind of how it was. So I think that I mean, personally, I think that Epic Games is probably going to leverage a lot of what's happening, what's going wrong with a lot of these other metaverse titles, and they could probably use a lot of that Sony money to build something pretty big. You know,
hmm
they're already roping in Lego to help build something like that.
Yeah. And again, this is more the lack of experience, and I'm not here to shit on whoever the developers are of these metaverse games. But again, coming from the gamer side, I feel a little more comfortable, at least with some of these companies that are trying to jump into that metaverse that are traditional game studios or publishers, right? Yeah, they might be, some of them might be not understanding the idea. They might be, trying to milk the consumer or whatever. But at least in theory, they know how to make games. So hopefully they're kind of fun.
That would be the hope.
Hopefully that would be the hope.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not shitting on the developer. I don't know who the developers and their history of game development, but yeah, maybe that's maybe a hope I have. Epic has
Please
made
be
games
fun. Yeah,
quite a bit,
if
so
you're
they
gonna yeah, if you're gonna all in on NFTs and metaverses and things like that, just please at least make it fun.
yeah.
That's a fair ask, I think.
That's
Coming from a gamer that just you just want a little bit of fun. That's a fair ask.
Yep. I play games to have fun, so I already have a job. I don't I don't want to I don't want to get off of work and I mean, I guess maybe if there was a
Slave
fun enough,
away at
yeah.
yeah.
Like I guess if there was a way for me to make money while I played Hell Let Loose, sure, I guess I'd take it. But
True.
their crypto is called helmets, and every time you get a headshot, you get a helmet coin
Dog tags.
or dog tags. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, and that's all we really have for metaverses and NFTs for right now. Probably going to be talking about this a lot more in the future, but that's kind of where we're currently sitting. And that Epic is going to be getting involved in the NFT in the metaverse space. So moving on from that, we got a little bit to talk about with Ubisoft. Ubisoft sounds like they are there. There is talks that Ubisoft is supposedly making a battle royale hero shooter. I'm guessing it's going to be in a similar vein as to Apex Legends or something like that. I mean, funny enough, the tentative title is Pathfinder,
Yeah.
so ripped directly from Apex Legends. But so it's in early development supposedly at Ubisoft Montreal. And it's going to supposedly incorporate PvPvE elements again. I
Hmm.
think there's a little bit of that in Apex Legends already. You do have like NPC monsters and things like that that can come and
Okay.
kill you while you're playing. Though I don't think it really has a like they drop a little bit of loot and stuff like that, but it doesn't have it's not a huge impact to the game as far as I've played it.
Yeah, this will. It's coming from the same. I mean, at least the studio that's making this has made a battle royale that will be shutting down shortly. I think it's the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's coming from Ubisoft Montreal, the people that made Hyperscape. But like, this is going to be interesting. I still have no interest in a battle royale, but it'll be interesting to see if a lot of this stuff is true, how how well it's received, because PvPvE could be interesting. It could be a little interesting where it sounds like, once the circle gets, small enough that you'll be fighting like a boss. So I don't know if you're the one that kills the boss, that's you win, or if it's still just like that's a distraction while you're still trying to kill everybody else, but stay alive from both people shooting you and the boss. Uh, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And then obviously have the hero shooter side to it. Again, I don't play a lot of battle royales, so so you said Apex Legends does that.
I mean, yeah, like to a degree. I mean, I've only played a lot of the battle royale stuff. Um, so I mean, there's like I said, there's like little NPC monsters and things like little NPC animals that kind of
Mhm.
roam around the I guess you could say the arena, and they can attack you and you can kill them and get loot and stuff like that. So I mean, like to a degree, there is an element of that, at least the start of an element of that, but like I said, not super prevalent, at least in the BR sense.
Hmm.
So we'd have to see if this like are they hard incorporating the E part of that PvPvE, or is it going to be something similar to Apex where it's just kind of somewhat in there, but not they didn't fully you know cannonball into that pool.
It could be fun. It could be meh. I mean,
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it sounds like it's not really getting your attention, regardless. You're not really a big battle royale
yeah.
person. Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how it all goes together. I mean, I'm imagining like Apex and Overwatch had a baby with I don't know what's something that did PvPv. I don't know, but yeah, boss. I don't know. Could be weird, but yeah, it doesn't sound like my type of game.
No. Was Ghost Recon Breakpoint one of your types of games?
Uh, Wildlands was fun, which was the one before this, and Breakpoint came out and it was like garbage. So they apparently I didn't follow this very well because Wildlands was good. It was a typical Ubisoft point of interest filled map that you go through, and it was fun. It was fun to hop on with a couple buddies and just go cause some chaos. It didn't really feel like a traditional Ghost Recon, but it's also been forever since I played a real, I'll say a real Ghost Recon. So that was fun. But when Breakpoint came out, I was like, well, this looks like a lot of the same with a bunch of, they added a bunch of elements. I forget what it was. I think one of the complaints I did see in the article was something like a fatigue system, where
Okay.
you had to eat kind of a little more like
Oh,
survival
like yeah,
mechanic.
sort of like a Daisy sort of a thing.
Yeah. But then, that came out and it sounded like the fans weren't too happy with it. They had to do that whole spend the next year to get something functional and that fans kind of like. Plus, it was broken as shit when it came out. That was another reason because the buddy was like, well, maybe we pick up Breakpoint and play. I'm like, no, it's kind of broken. And I already have Wildlands. Let's go play that.
Well, you're not going to have to worry about it too much longer because Ubisoft is ending support for Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Rip.
RIP. Yeah. So active development on new content is closing, which I mean kind of makes sense because we got information that there is a new Ghost Recon on the way. So
Yeah.
and that this is supposedly it's already started in development and could be coming as soon as 2023. So
Yeah. It's kind of
codenamed
funny.
Over. I don't
It's
really
kind
know what that means, but sure.
of, I don't know. It was kind of funny how the news came out. Like one day I'm like, oh, that's weird. They're ending support for this. And then the next day they're like, oh, it's because we got a new game in development. And it's like, oh, perfect timing.
Well, there you go.
Surprised that wasn't leaked earlier. But yeah, not a lot of info there, but I guess it could be coming in within the next year sometime. So
Yep. So stay tuned for another big Ubisoft open world title.
yeah, I imagine we talked the rumors this the other week, but Ubisoft could have a pretty crazy. Can't call it E3.
That's right.
Ubisoft, what do they call it? Forward. They could have
Yeah.
a pretty. It could be like one of their maps, a very wide and broad, point of interest filled event. They have it. So
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's something that we will be keeping our eye out for when that happens. I don't remember when is that happening? The Ubi
I, I,
Forward thing?
I don't
Do you
think
happen to remember?
other
Did they
than
announce that?
let me pull it up from. I think that was just all we had was rumors of what they were going to show, and there was like 20 games.
Yeah, there's
And
a
a
lot of
bunch of them.
stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of them were games that people have been wondering about for a while. But I don't think there's a date. I think the only thing that had a date was the PC game show so far. I think that's the only event this year. I imagine all of them were waiting to see what happened with E3, and once that was canceled, everybody's like, okay, well, let's make our plans however we want, or maybe they're teaming up with the Jeff Keighley stuff, the Summer Game
The
Fest.
summer games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could easily be one of those things where now they're working out with him to say, hey, let's get this part of your show, get a little extra advertising there. So
Sure. I mean, then that would make sense.
but yeah, I don't think there's a hard date on that yet. So
Okay. Well, I suppose you, the listener, keep your ears peeled for Ubisoft updates if you're into Ghost Recon. All right. So we're wrapping up stuff on Ubisoft. Now comes the fun part. We get
one
to
of those
talk.
episodes again.
It's going to be one of those episodes again. So we are going to be talking about Halo. So if you love it when we talk about Halo, stick around because we actually do have some information about Halo, and it's not just going to be us shitting on the entire thing. So yeah. I will note that we are not just going to be shitting on Halo this entire time.
Yeah, there is some good Halo news.
There is some good Halo news that we get to finally talk about, which I am very happy with. So the first things first. Let's start with the okay stuff. Like let's go with the okay stuff and go into the good stuff last. So first things first, Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, we got on Halo Waypoint, we got the season 1 outcomes report. If you read through this thing, they detailed some of the stuff that they are currently working on, and it is clear that like it just almost seems like they never had a lot of plans to begin with for season 1. That season 1 was really just kind of like the bare bones product, and then season 2 is when stuff is finally going to show up, which comes in a couple of weeks, I believe, like 2 or 3 weeks is when we're going to be getting
May
like
3rd.
May 3rd, yeah. Season 2 launches
3rd.
on May 3rd. So we have about 3 weeks. 3 weeks from when we are recording right now. So we are recording on Tuesday. So when we look through the notes that they have here, we see a lot of stuff that's a lot of, you know, it's like they're not going into a lot of specifics, which is kind of a bummer.
Hmm.
Um, there are a couple things here that we can note that they are going to do, such as um, you can actually earn CR. You can earn like the shop credits through the battle pass. That's a
Yep.
good thing. That is a good thing. That is actually in line with a lot of other battle passes that
Yep.
exist.
They,
Between
they,
like Valorant, Splitgate. A lot of these games do stuff like that, and I'm glad that they're including that too. So you can earn actual money to buy the battle pass with the battle pass,
yep.
and
That's it.
that's
I
good.
mean, I generally don't grind out battle passes, but people that do, I mean, you can essentially put $10 in, get a battle pass, grind it out, and if you keep up with it, you won't be spending any more money on season or battle passes in the future. So,
Right, right. Which is okay. Like I said, that's a pretty standard thing. They said that they're going to be looking at the weekly challenges and try to improve those. And this is a lot of the language that they ended up using in these notes is like, we're looking into it. Where we'll give updates on this later.
hmm.
Um, One of the things they noted is theater and observer mode. They said theater and observer will have updates to address stability issues, viewing multiple films in a row, and problems that arise when observing multiple matches in a row. They didn't really go into the specifics beyond that or what they're planning on doing with it, other than they're looking at fixing some stuff.
Hmm.
Other things that they noted on were, things like the shop that they're going to be, you know, taking a peek at the prices for things. I know that's been a really big point of feedback from a lot of the Halo community is that there is a lot of stuff on there that seems like it's priced way too high. And that is just, not worth it if you're going to be buying like the color red or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of other things that they want, they they're looking into more ways that they can take a lot of this stuff with the customization options and allowing you to combine a lot of that stuff. Um, it's not really. It doesn't sound like they're really focusing on delivering something that they promised originally with this whole cores thing.
Hmm.
But you know, one of the points of feedback that they got that it was many players would like to use multiple attachments on vehicles, weapons, Spartans, things like that. So they're looking at doing stuff like things like that. They want to be able to make up a kit that they could use to kind of express the individuality. So like, if they're you don't want to see like it was like when the game started and like literally everybody got like the HCS skin, the red, white, and blue skin, and like pretty much everybody was
Yeah.
wearing it. So everybody was pretty much the same anyway. So it's like why have skins if everybody looks the same?
Yeah. It's I could not believe with them talking about how much you were supposed to be able to customize your Spartan, how little I had to work with at the start. And then yeah, like you said, then the only stuff you're getting is through the battle pass and everybody else is just like, "Oh, I got something new. Let me put this on."
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of other things that looks like they're looking at making tweaks to. I mean, people were complaining about how like the ultimate rewards for season one were kind of lackluster. I mean, it would be like you would go through all these different challenges and get like a kind of shitty armor core or something like that. So in the season two, that's looking like they're going to be addressing something like that. My hope is that they drop like a big fat patch notes soon of all the things that they are adjusting, because I would like to see something like that as opposed to a lot of they have like these little updates that don't say a whole lot, like text wise there's a lot of stuff here,
Hmm.
but that doesn't tell me a lot of stuff, if that makes sense.
That's I read through so far they have two of these. They're doing it for a couple more, I think, in the coming weeks. We got the what was it, just the general outcome and then the live one. And I read through both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, someone that left pretty early because I realized it was lacking in many areas. This does not make me go, "Ooh, I want to come back." Right? There's just
Right.
there's to me. This is where it gets into me shitting on it a little bit. Is like to me, they they released this in such a state that they don't even know a timeline to get a lot of these fixed. And you get that as you're reading through this, when there's a lot of like, well, this is our plans, we'd like to do that,
There's a lot of
or
hand waving and like,
yep,
yeah,
oh yeah, it's on our radar, we got this, we hear you. And to me it's just like they got a lot of problems over there, and they're, as we can probably rightly assume, is they're just trying to prioritize stuff. Then they're trying to figure out how they have to go through the design phase. This is a lot of this stuff was released before it was ready. What I know very little about this armor core stuff, but again, the fact that the customization stuff is so limiting is just insane to me. And then the lack of content, especially as a live service game. And again, none of this here. We'll see what happens with season 2. I doubt it, but I'm going to give this game at least, probably, I'm guessing, another year before I even look at trying to come back again, if
yeah,
I come back.
yeah. And
Especially if they keep the communication up this way. I'm actually going to take a second. I want to shit on somebody new. I'm going to shit on the Halo community. They got so excited when these came out. Oh, they're communicating to us. I'm like, guys, they're not telling us anything. Right? They're
right,
not fixing anything. They have no timelines. And even some of the highly requested changes, like more customization or give us more information on networking, they have no timelines or no good designs to share on how they're going to change it. And I'm like, why are you guys getting excited over nothing here?
yeah. I guess that's one of those, like, they've been, the Halo community at large has been pretty starved for something for not just the several years leading up to Halo Infinite's release, but then
Yeah,
Halo Infinite not having very much. It's like, you know, you were, you haven't eaten in like 4 days, and then somebody gives you a couple of pretzels. Yeah, it's good, but it definitely doesn't last that long, and then you just want more immediately after that.
yeah. No, I forgot. This was kind of an out there, but I remember reading like a comment. Somebody was so excited. It was like the first update was like 7,000 words. They're like, "Oh, it's such a juice." I'm like, "What?" What I write in the notes here, a big nothing burger update. It was 7,000 words of almost nothing. They could have boiled down into a few paragraphs. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, "Hey guys, we still don't know what we're doing to fix a lot of this stuff. Here's a few things we are addressing." And that was it. So, anyways, end rant there.
Right. But I mean, like I said, there was a couple of things that they did address directly. Um, one of the things was like, the Warthog and Razorback are having their physics sort of adjusted, because so it doesn't feel like they just kind of get blasted around like a pool noodle.
I was a little disappointed that they did, like, maybe they have this planned in the future, but like they definitely, as somebody who played probably more campaign than I did of multiplayer, they really need to go over the vehicles, all of them in general. Now, I guess I didn't spend a ton of time in the Banshee, but they just don't feel like classic. I mean, even Halo 4 and Halo 5, the vehicles there felt pretty decent. But yeah, no, at least the Warthog, the fact that they're adjusting, hopefully the the fact that somebody could sneeze and you're rolling over, hopefully
Right.
hopefully that's
Exactly.
being fixed, because
Right.
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. And of course, they brought Jeff Steitzer back to Big Team Battle. Not sure why he wasn't there in the first place, but they're bringing him back.
Well, maybe you can tell me because you played a lot longer, but their idea, I think, with BTB was, wasn't there more of your Spartan, or who's the lady Spartan? It's part of the season story that they're trying to tell. But it was something along the lines of, they felt like they wanted more kind of connection with that story, so that's why that you got more of that announcer and less Jeff Steitzer. But obviously, as Halo fans, we want more Jeff, not
Yeah, we
Martha.
love Jeff. There's nobody who can tell me about how good I'm doing better than Jeff Steitzer when he tells
Yeah,
me overkill. That's what I want to hear.
yeah. Did they ever do more with the story side of things with the
No,
season?
nope. It was that first trailer for the season one, multiplayer stuff. Um, there were quite literally no content updates as far as that. Supposedly, it looks like they're going to be expanding upon that with season two, but Season 1 barely had anything in it as far as like what they
Yeah.
were doing with the multiplayer story stuff, so I can't imagine that season 2 is going to be doing a lot more. Supposedly they have a lot in the works, but that's what they've been telling us this whole time, is that, we hear you, we're working on it, we swear, that sort of a thing.
Couple
And the
months go
other
by. Hey, we hear you. We're working
and
on it.
and I think the other big thing that, a lot of the Halo community needs to be, it's okay to be cautiously optimistic, I think. Like, don't break out the credit card and get ready to start swiping like crazy and, buy every skin that pops up. I mean, I would suggest, kind of play a little wait and see, and, what comes out of season 2, because as of right now, yeah, we don't really have any like patch notes or
Yep.
anything to really anything really significant that tells us all the stuff that they are fixing and things that we should be getting excited for. We've gotten a couple of screenshots of a couple of different maps. I think people have data mined some potential skins and things like that, which, I mean, some of them do look kind of cool. Like, how did you see the one with like they have the elite skull on the dude's shoulder? I mean, that's kind of
Hmm.
cool. Like that, those are some cool cosmetics, and apparently that is supposedly in the battle pass, which is
But it only
cool.
works on one armor core, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm making jokes, and I honestly don't know anything about customization. I don't like. I'm shitting on armor cores. I don't even know. I don't even know the problem there, because that's how quickly I left that.
Right, but
Let
at
me
the same,
customize my Spartan.
but the point I'm trying to make is just like,
There's
you
some
know,
cool stuff. Yeah.
there is cool stuff, but yeah, pump the brakes on the hype train a little bit. Like, don't just start, cheering and yelping about how great of a job 343 is doing because that we finally got some content into the game. The other big thing that we have to keep in mind is that we have no idea what the timeline is between season 2 and 3. We have
Hmm.
no idea if they're going to be is it going to be like close to another 6 months before we get another season, because that seems ridiculous. And this
Yeah.
content is not going to last that long,
Yeah. It's
just from what they've shown us. I
yeah.
mean,
To
all we
your
got was a short, like 30-second, not even a 30-second. It was just a short, like, teaser trailer for season 2.
Yeah. To your point of the stuff that was data mined, and I always forget the name of the map, but that map, that potential BTB map that could be coming would be really cool. That was Halo 2, I believe it was. That kind of remake. It was the video you sent me the other night. I can't remember the name of that map, but I was like if more of that stuff comes and it's not Forge created, that could be pretty cool. So hopefully through the season, uh, they drop more maps and flesh out the modes a little bit more, and then hopefully we actually get co-op campaign again. They already said that's coming in season 2, but not in 3 weeks. Season 2,
Sure.
but I mean, yeah, no. To your point though, yeah, kind of. I would recommend let the honeymoon phase kind of go, pass before you start saying, "Hey, 343 did it," or "They didn't do it," or whatever. Those first couple weeks where you're getting all this new content, it is exciting.
Right.
But the cracks start to show when you're 2 to 4 weeks in, and you realize, and then especially if they don't continue to support it, then it's like, okay, then we got the content drought. We're back in the content drought. And then if they push this from 3 months to 6 months again, then hopefully they have more content. They did content for season 2 through that drought than they did for season 1, because
Yeah.
it was
And
pretty lackluster for a live service game.
right. And I think that was, probably the biggest complaint that everybody had about Halo Infinite, is that where's the content? Like, you you told us this was a live service game. Live service games need more content, because what else are we supposed to do when
Yeah.
when there's nothing else to do? All right. So that kind of wraps that up. Um be on the lookout for more of the season 2 stuff. Like I said, I'm hoping to see stuff from the patch notes. The most that we know that we're getting in season 2 is what I've mentioned earlier, the 2 maps, the arena map and the big team battle map, and of course there's a couple of game modes that they're adding. Land grab, which is an pretty old game mode from even, I think, Halo like 2 and 3 days they had that. And King of the Hill. That's a classic. That's been in
Hmm.
Halo since Halo existed. And then they're adding Last Spartan Standing, which sounds like it's kind of the I don't know. It sounds like it's kind of the precursor to a battle royale.
Yeah. Sounds like a battle royale light.
Yeah.
but we'll hopefully get more details on it soon.
Right. We don't know very much about it. So that's the bad, like, I guess that's the okay stuff, right? Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It wasn't like, holy shit, it's
Hmm.
happening. The game is going to be good. Everybody get on board. But we do have more good news in terms of Halo, and that's for the MCC in particular. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, they just released a fat like 8 gig update that I just downloaded, and I'm looking forward to trying some of the stuff out. But they added an ODST firefight with the Flood. That is hard to say, man.
You did
Flood firefight.
before we started the show. You did the same thing. I was like,
I
he's got it
did.
out. You got it out of your system. You're good. But no, I
Yes.
mean, this has
Flood
been
firefight. ODST flood firefight.
this has been a fan request forever. And yeah, it's exciting to see this happen. And one little video I saw, I didn't get to see a lot of gameplay of it yet. One thing I saw on the internet was people confirming that I guess when you die, surprise, the flood can take you over, and then you're one of the not you yourself, your old dead body,
Yes.
and
Your
some
corpses will be
yeah.
taken by the flood, and you will be shooting your old corpse.
Yeah, you respawn as a whatever, another ODST or however that's set up. But they were basically in this little clip I saw, they were confirming that if you die with a Spartan laser, that the flood can actually still use a Spartan laser, because he ran back to his body and started shooting and just turned around and just lit him up. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Where the hell's
Yes.
Spartan laser in Halo Infinite, by the way? God damn
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't exist. They retired the Spartan laser, just like they retired, the shotgun.
Yeah.
Anyway, so each map is getting kind of a nice, spooky, dense flood fog. So I think that'll be pretty fun. They're adding in additional AI to help you fight these. So like you can get like Covenant drop pods that'll help drop like elites that can help you fight off the flood. You can get like Marines and New Mombasa PD to help you fight off the flood and all that. So I mean, like, it does sound really fun, and I am looking forward to trying this out. Um, but that's not all. There's more to this more to this patch. They have some UI updates, some like icon redesigns, some menu improvements, and of course they finally finished the custom games browser. Now, it's
Nice.
been in work for a very, very long time. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting very patiently for this. They released it to a couple of the Halo titles over the course of the last few years, and now they're finally bringing it to all the titles across Master Chief Collection. So you'll be able to play, Reach, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them will have an available custom games browser, which I am also going to be checking out tonight because I would like to see some custom games.
That sounds awesome.
That does sound really cool. I wish they had that in Halo Infinite, because that would have been a hella good feature to have for your big game.
Yep. Maybe in 5 years. Because that's like how long it took to get this.
Yes,
but,
it did take a very long time to get that custom games browser in here.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I gotta see if
exciting.
I still have it downloaded on my computer or not. But yeah.
Along with that, there's additional forge and modding tools, so you can create like team-based kill volumes. So you can have like little volumes where like soft volumes where you can have the enemy team will die if they go into certain places of the map. You can set those up now, which is kind of cool. And they fixed an issue with the Reach's target locator. It resets now after each round in multiplayer, so that
Nice.
it maintains that persistence. And then a couple of extra things that they added is that there's a couple more skulls that they're adding to the different Halo titles. I think they're adding in some of the skulls from the Halo Combat Evolved anniversary and Halo 2 anniversary to other games like I think Halo 2 proper is getting one of the skulls, and Halo 3 is getting a whole bunch of those skulls as well. So you'll be able to do that. You have some more fun with that. They're going to be adjusting some of the monthly challenges, or they did adjust some of the monthly challenges. And then your skins will be available in Halo 4's campaign. They fixed that. And of course, being able to play Halo 3 and ODST crossplay. So,
Yeah,
you'll be able to do campaign crossplay now, which sounds great. Sounds great.
lot of good
A lot
updates.
of good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So it's very positive on this side of the notes. Not so much on the Infinite side, but much bigger on the MCC side. They're doing very good work with the MCC.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's still getting updates, and especially finally getting some of this content that has been requested for a while. Because I do return every now and then and play some of the whatever, and that it's such a huge collection.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just great to see on the ongoing support, and I hope they continue to do this, and I hope they continue to improve on it and keep this functional and or make it even better, fix UI and gameplay bugs and things like that, because it's awesome to support these old games and also have one place to go do it. You know, and
Right.
they say what they need to do is make a freaking Halo 3 Anniversary Edition for me. Some blur cutscenes, some good Skywalker orchestra, soundtrack. I don't care that it's considered as HD still. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Give me them fancy cutscenes.
honestly, what I think they should do is I'd even be okay. The Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo CE Anniversary were all just kind of the same game, just this visual engine built over top of it to make it look pretty. I'd be okay if they just did a remake of Halo 3 in the Slipspace engine. So make it all pretty. Maybe bring now you
No,
just want
no, don't do that because the engine's busted.
to
The Slipspace engine is busted. We don't want that. The multiplayer's not going to work.
fix
Come
your
on
engine and
now.
then do that.
Yeah.
But
That's one of the big reasons why it sounds like they can't do half the things that they want to do is
yeah.
that the engine just doesn't work super well.
But just think, ray tracing in Halo 3.
Wow.
Ray tracing, HDR, running 60 frames, 4K. Man,
You know what I want them to add? Here's what I want them to add. I want them to add a skin that's basically Master Chief in his full armor, but he's got an assless pants.
so
That's what I want.
you want a Master Cheeks skin?
Yes, I want a Master Chief skin. That's just Master Chief's ass, but all the rest of the armor on.
We said it before. Go listen to our Halo TV series episodes. We talk about Master Cheeks.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'd take it.
Anyway, yeah, and that's all the updates that we have for Halo. So, I don't know. You excited for this stuff? Any of it?
I wouldn't even. I was cautiously optimistic for Halo Infinite before it came out. Now it's just it's kind of like for me, CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077, right? When I finally gets enough updates and whenever I hear enough has been changed and it's actually a pretty
That it's
good game, I'll
Yeah.
probably come back. Although Infinite's in a little bit different state in the sense that there is co-op and there is multiplayer. So if like you or I know my cousin was, played with him a bunch, if you guys are like, hey, let's play, I like playing with people, so I'll probably hop in and return that way. But a consistently return, maybe play by myself, or hey, we should play sometime, or try to get other people play. No, the MCC, I love that it's getting updates. It's not going to get these crazy consistent updates like it was before Infinite with the different seasons, but they did say it was they were going to continue to build on it and bring more features to it and fix more stuff. So again, the ongoing support is exciting stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do like that they are still making good updates to it because as of right now, that's the way I like playing my Halo is the Master Chief Collection.
With content.
With content. There's lots of it.
Functional.
Yeah,
And
very, very functional. Took a while to get there, but we made it there.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Halo Infinite will be this good in about 5 years or so.
Yep.
All right, so enough shitting on Halo. We don't need to keep going down that road. We do that every week. So we got other games to talk about. Not a whole lot, but there's a couple of extra games, and then we're going to kind of, top it off with a little bit of quick news and then wrap this episode up. So what we have for games that are coming in the pipeline, aside from that Ubisoft game that that new Ghost Recon game, we have a sequel to Monkey Island.
Sure.
Return to Monkey Island.
Was this your type of game? Did you ever play the Monkey Island?
I have played a little bit of Monkey Island, but I did very much like point and click adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like stuff like this. I just never finished Monkey Island or the sequel.
I never played it, but I know a lot of those old games showed up on. I think a bunch of them are in Game Pass now, like Grim
Are they?
Fandango and Full Throttle. I don't
That's
remember if
cool.
Monkey Island is or not, but like,
I know
unfortunately,
that.
it was never a game I ever played. But
Oh,
I do like point and click. It's been forever since I
oh yeah.
played one.
No, point and click puzzle games are fun. Heather actually really, really likes Monkey Island, so
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think
she
she's
was
gonna.
excited about this.
She did. She saw the article and she was like, "This is actually pretty cool." She's like
Yeah.
she was telling me that the two ends in a stupid way, is what she said, and so she's excited.
Is it to be continued?
The way that I'm not going to spoil it, but the way that she described it is that it's just kind of like the ending from what she described sounded really dumb.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, so they're getting the original voice actor for Guybrush, which is cool.
So that's yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, that'll be fun. Um, Ron Gilbert is, getting involved with the game's development, which is great.
He's the one in charge of Terrible Toy Box, the studio that's making this. So
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. Again, unfortunately, that was kind of not never was into this game. But it's always good news when you get the like if you're
The
going to be
OG
making you
creators
get
and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think this sounds like a cool idea. I'm kind of on board with this.
I'm interested. We'll have
I'm
to look.
interested too.
Maybe a Monkey Island game could be a book club.
Ooh,
We'll have to
somebody
look at this.
suggest that, please. That would actually be really good.
I just suggested it. Am I not somebody
Somebody
to you?
not Matt suggested, and we can give them credit and bring them onto the episode like we do with all of our book club guests, starting with this next one. Anyway, so we're going to be moving on from there. Another one, yeah, another game that I didn't expect to see make an appearance at all in the news, Max Payne. Unfortunately, it's not a new Max Payne game, which makes me a little sad because I love the Max Payne games. Love them. They're great. Max Payne
Mm-hmm.
is fantastic, but it's a remake. No surprise there. Max Payne 1 and 2 are getting remakes. So they're going to be targeting the current gen consoles, that is the Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5, and of course PC.
Yep.
Fun.
No, this was
I actually just played, I think, Max Payne, like the original Max Payne. I think I played that like last year at some point.
again. I'm definitely one of those people in the boat, especially now. Like, let's just start making new games in these franchises. But again, similar to how I talked with like Dead Space and a few other games, I never played these, so I'm happy they're getting remakes because I can wait and then play the super sexy versions. Hopefully, good versions. Hopefully, it's not a Grand Theft Auto trilogy type situation. But no, I'm surprised I never got around to these. A buddy in high school, well, still buddy now, just don't see him as much. Uh, you know, he loved this series and he was always like, "You got to play it, you got to play it." And I never got around to it, so now I just got to wait for them to come out and give them a go. Hopefully, they're good. Or hopefully the remakes are good, and not some shitty, broken stuff. But
That's all we can hope for.
yep.
The last exclusive. So, God of War Ragnarok will be the last exclusive, or I should say, the last PlayStation Studio game to be ported to the PS4.
Yep.
So the last exclusive finally makes it across the PS4 finish line. Please say goodbye to all those consoles because they those consoles are old, man. Like they're PS4 is ancient. We don't need the PS4 anymore.
No, I mean we're finally a year and a half. Probably when this game got pushed out to early next year, right? It got delayed. I'm trying to remember now.
I don't know.
But anyways, it's still a little ways out. I mean, by the time this comes out, PlayStation 5 will have been out 2 years. It makes sense, right? There's always in a new generation that window where you will be creating most likely first party games for both generations. but we're past, like we're done. Like, so anything moving forward can now not worry, at least for PlayStation. Xbox has different plans, obviously, but PlayStation can move forward and their internal studios can start focusing on just squeezing every last bit of power out of the PS5, which that's one thing we can give credit to all those PlayStation studios. They've for years have shown that's what they do. And, like even late stage game consoles, some of these studios can squeeze so much awesomeness out of those old systems. So the fact that now they can just worry about PlayStation 5, hopefully a lot of these games will, I mean, they already look great, but hopefully they'll look a lot better. So, and play a lot better and blah, blah, blah. Right.
Right. All right. So, I saw this article and I thought that you would probably like this. I don't remember if I posted it in Discord or if you posted it, but it sounds like all US based QA testers are being converted to full time for Activision Blizzard. As a former QA tester for Activision Blizzard, what are your thoughts on that, Matt?
Yeah, I wish this happened 10, 12 years ago and I still worked for them. Fresh out of college, having a steady pay and benefits would have been, but well, I had pay, but this is great, and I don't know if any of my old colleagues that potentially could still be working there, congrats, this is good news for you. We were surprised to actually find some good news with Activision because it's so rare anymore. But no, this is exciting. Again, as a current QA tester and a previous Activision QA tester, this is great. One reason I left a lot of the quality assurance side in the games industry is because obviously the industry is tough in general, as we're
Right.
finding out the last couple of years. But quality assurance gets shit on, chewed up, and spit out a lot, right?
A lot of
And
churn and burn.
yeah, and that's the big reason why I kind of went to more of the, I don't know, I'm going to call it business software, because business software side of quality assurance, because you get paid better, you get treated better, you get better hours, right? I loved working in games, but it was just,
You were just
yeah,
you didn't like it.
yeah. But again, it's a lot like a lot of the stuff you hear about working in the games industry, again, just kind of long hours getting chewed up and spit out. But QA, yeah, typical QA, unless you were able to land a good job at a good studio or publisher as like a full-time, which was rare. Most quality assurance, especially at Activision, and I'm imagining most big publishers, is contract. And depending on the contracts and countries and states you're in, that can get really weird. Activision being a studio or a company based out of California, they had some weird. It was supposed to protect contract employees, but it was like we could only have 3 contracts with the same company before we had to take like a year off. And so I guess it's common for a lot of people to just bounce around contracts with different companies and different studios. But yeah, it's weird shit. It's a weird world. So the fact that hopefully it's getting more steady and predictable here for them is great. Again,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
I can't speak a lot to, I've never been a QA before, so it's nice to get that insight.
It's a fun world.
Yeah, it is a fun world. You're not being paid in not being paid in like Blizzard bucks or free games from the game closet.
That was kind of part of your pay as a contract worker. You were able to have, I don't know if it's still the same, but you were allowed to get 2 games for free each contract. Yeah, but
Now those are some benefits right there.
yeah, I mean, we got a real paycheck too, and some shitty pizza when they decide to feed us.
All right. Well, cool. Congratulations to all the QA people who are now becoming FTEs.
Good times.
All right. So to close this out, we just have a little bit of quick news, and then we will be wrapping up the episode. Just to run through this quickly here, we got supposedly a new Kingdom Hearts is in the works. Kingdom Hearts 4 was revealed at the 20th anniversary trailer. Are you a big Kingdom Hearts fan? No?
I was never interested in this.
Neither was I, but I know that a lot of people love it.
Yeah. Not trying to shit on it, but this wasn't my thing. But yeah, I have a lot of friends that play them, and hopefully this is exciting news for them.
Right. Mario Golf, the N64 Mario Golf, is going to be coming April 5th to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Probably the best golfing game that has ever existed, in my opinion.
I remember playing this and having fun.
Oh,
So
it is. It was so good. I think. Do I still have it? I might still have it.
I have to
Like
look.
an
I have some-
N64 copy of it. Yeah.
I don't remember what games I have for N64. I might have it.
I had a
too.
lot of games for N64.
I don't. I don't think I do. I'll have to get the expansion pack, the Switch Online and expansion pack.
There you go.
Play
You
it.
got lots of stuff that you can play that you
I
missed
have
out
too.
on.
God, I already have too many games I bought for the Switch. I'm already behind. I already have a library. What, 2 months in, and I've already got a library of games to play for the Switch. So,
Right.
God.
And then lastly, THQ Nordic Showcase will take place on August the 12th. So we have an announcement of THQ actually having a little event this summer. Not sure if it's
Honestly,
going to be part of the Summer Game Fest, but it's yeah, they're having their own little thing, I guess.
not excited in any way for this. I don't know if you remember. This was kind of like, I'm trying to remember. Maybe I'm going out and making a bad accusation here because I'm trying to remember all the showcases from last year. I remember THQ Nordic just being boring as shit. They had, I think the most exciting thing they had was the SpongeBob SquarePants game. Everything else was just kind of generic and blah. But I remember this and PC Game Show being like the two showcases last year that were just like meh. So hopefully it's better this year. But yeah, I'm not looking. I guess not really looking forward
I
to.
don't. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care either.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it, and if there's
It's
anything worth
fine.
reporting on it, we'll talk about.
We'll talk
but, like,
about it, but yeah, we're not gonna try to pretend like we care about new
Yeah.
SpongeBob games.
So again, maybe they
It
got
is
other
what it
things
is.
up their sleeve, but yeah,
Yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna have a lot of other stuff to talk about over the course of this summer.
yeah. Hopefully, some better stuff, and
Right.
less Greg Miller since EA isn't doing a show.
Savage. That's straight savage right there.
Mike would be sad if he was on the show still.
Yep. And that's it. That's all we have for today's episode. Any parting thoughts or wisdom, Matt? Anything regarding that we talked about
No.
today? Cool.
Go check out our Halo TV.
Yeah,
series
go check
review.
out that Halo TV series review. It's fun,
We have a lot of fun talking about it. We try
Yes.
not to shit on it,
but it's hard.
but you know me.
Yeah.
At some point, I do.
We're the best Halo fans on the internet, that's for sure.
Again, I wouldn't. We shit on it a lot, but I think it's the whole idea that it's more because we care
love
so
it.
much and we
Yes.
want them to do better.
Yes, we shit on
You
it
know?
because we know it can do better. It's an A student, but it's getting C's right now.
Yep.
We know they can do better.
Exactly.
All right. Well, with that said, we're going to close it out for this week's episode. Thank you all very much for joining and listening if you've made it this far. Be sure to check out our website, campfiregamingpodcast.com. Check out some more episodes if you're into it. We, as always, be sure to join our Discord. You can find that link on our website as well. Be sure to follow us at CampGamePod on Twitter. If you're joining us from YouTube, sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us out. And be sure to tell all your friends, your grandparents, your loved ones, and everybody in between so that we could get, more people listening to this wonderful podcast. With that said, thank you all for joining me this evening. My name is Rich, and I'll see you next time around the campfire.